Erev Shabbos, everyone. It starts, the Seder starts out in Nitzavim Hayem Kulchem Fnei Hashem Lekechem, and it says Roshechem Shiftechem. It doesn't make sense literally. What do you mean by Roshechem? So Rashi says Roshechem Lishiftechem. He puts in a lamed. So Shiva has a shtickle teva on this. That's all that it means no. And this is a very big important thing in education, and really what he intended for the yeshiva. What he intended for the yeshiva. The yeshivas that existed, Bisman Chazal, he told you how they ran it. 5 years this, 5 years this, 5 years that, and in the end, 1,000 started Chumash. In the end, Echad Yotzel here. What happened to the other 999 guys? What, they went out to play ball? They're the yeshivas that we have in the world. That's what they were. And one guy became the Habal. Of everybody else was a regular guy who went to yeshiva and learned 10 blot a year, and that was it, and that was finally, and that was it. The thing goes from there. The shayla is that, you know, and you have gone through with this thing that you have many Rosh Yeshivas that want to break. We got 100 guys. The 100 guys is the 100 Echem Me'elef we got. Now, every guy that goes to Yeshivas and Echem Me'elef. Come on. Doesn't say, see, not the Kishrin is not there, the thing is not there. What are you talking about? So the Rashivas touched it up, and he said, this is Atem Nitzavim Roshechem, that who is Roshechem is Shiftechem. Remember, you think my kid's just average. I've had this all the time. My kid's average, so if he's average, what do you expect from him? Right? What do you mean, what do you expect from him? An average guy is supposed to give me the 100, or the 150, whatever you're supposed to do. That's some are fake numbers. Anyway, the 100, there's only 100, you know. Anything else that's extra credit doesn't count as hundreds. Don't let me look up. That's a way of giving a kid a high mark and for fakerai. But basically it's 100, right? But everyone can make the 100. That's what Shiva held. He held the difference is, he says, who can make it? And the average person. The Iluyim, he said, very few Iluyim became Gedolim. He said. And he says, why? Because when we consider the word Eloi, I don't know what the word Eloi means. I always call every Yeshua Baruch was an Eloi. If you remember, he was this guy's Eloi, this guy's Eloi. What do they mean to say by an Eloi? He's a genius. What's a genius? So what's our picture of a genius? Guy's a nut, right? The thing the forgetful, first forgets everything what he left his head. What kind of a genius is that? He can't even take care of himself. That's a genius. That's a mensch. Obviously, that's not what we mean. So he says an average genius, what we call Iluyim, is they were not balanced because they had a tremendous photographic memory, but their tfisa was average. So they can't chazer because as soon as they look at something, they know it already. Because I can tell you thing by part. They don't have, there's not the thing there, but I don't understand it. That's the problem. The same thing, you have a guy who has a regular memory and a fast tfisa. He ups it very fast, but he can't maintain it. So there's stuff like that. So both of them can't chazer. They can't chazer. The average person, and that's it means the balanced person. There's no stuff for the average. The Gadol is going to be, the Gadol Olam is going to be the 1-1. Takes one time to learn it, to know it, and one time to remember it. So then he'll be the guy. But the average person, it takes 5 times to learn it. But it also takes 5 times to memorize it. So at the same time, I get it at the same time. So I'm balanced. So every person can become a Gadol. That's the thing. The question is, how big a Gadol? But everyone can become a Gadol. You tefes kol haTorah kula. Doesn't make a difference. Just the question, and that's what he held in the yeshiva. We should work on is that every person has that potential. As long as you put your keiches into it and you work on yourself, you'll be able to do it. And the truth is, we say that in the Gemara, guy says, Yagaiti v'loi matzossi is al-tamen. That's a Gemara there. Why al-tamen? It's impossible. Shad is what's called matzossi, what's called Yagaiti. So you have the Talmud of Rav Chayde, his Yagaiti was 400 times. Doesn't mean 400 times. You put a tape recorder on and keep playing it over and over and over again. It's not going to help me one bit, right? And the thing it means, I explained it to you 400 different ways. Now, is there 400 different ways to explain something? I think what it means is 3 ways we know for sure. You can have something like kasha and a teretz, a raya and an upshalok, and 2 sides of a debate. Those are 3 ways for sure. And then, to explain it, you take a little from here and a little from here, and you try and measure it until finally, oh, I got it now. And then when he gets it, he understands it like the Shvelstakiveya that he can do. Because there's nothing in the Torah that the person can't understand. The Torah was given to the normal human being, that was given what we call the average guy. It was given to them, and therefore every one of us can become a Gadol Yisrael. And that's what he says is the pasuk here. And that's the point. The only thing is we give up too fast. In other words, you can hear a Talmud, a Rebbe maybe teaching somebody 400 times. I doubt it very much that you'll ever find such a guy. Not nowadays anyway. But maybe you could for money. Maybe you could find someone. But if you have a kid that's going to listen 400 times, that's for sure you ain't going to find. He listens 3 times and he gives up. I can't understand this. It's beyond me. How do you know it's beyond you? Try again. Right? No, that's what I'm saying. So the godless of the Talmud of Rav Chayde is that he supposed to learn the Gemara in Megillah, and he knew that the Gaiti v'lo mitzossi al-tam is just not called, I didn't try hard enough yet, so I got to try again. That's all. He kept trying until he understood it. And the Rebbeinu Shalom could be brought out in the Maaseh to prove that this is possible by actually making somebody like that in the world. This is yes, from really, really. That I think he's the man of this thing. I have no idea his kishra, believe me, but he's definitely from the big Nevi'im, whatever big Nevi'im means. But he was the one. He's the Rebbe of Eliyahu. He's also the one that made the whole Malchus Yisrael and everything. He was the main Navi at that time. And Rashi says in the Messiah, the Rambam, and he counts the 40 doiras between Moshe and Ravashi. He counts Achia Shileni is Mekabel from David, and V'yotzi Mitzrayim Oya. What did he put in that point in for? The Rambam. What do I care? If he was V'yotzi Mitzrayim, V'yotzi Mitzrayim means he's over 500 years old. That's what it means. He's over 500 years old, and he's first Mekabel from David. It's 500 years later, whatever years later. From a guy that's 70 years old dies, and before them was Shmuel, and before them was Halley. And in all of them, he was already a few hundred years old. So, and he was still in Kabbalah. He still was learning and trying until he became Achia Shalem. Like the guy, the trouble with the world is when a guy of in Yeshiva, and he sees this other Talmid Chacham bigger than him, right? Or the Talmid bigger than himself. He said, what do you need me for? I'll never get a job. I'll never get a yeshiva. I'll never be the Rosh Yeshiva. I quit now. It doesn't make a difference. I don't have to knock myself out. Yeah, but what about the Rosh Yeshivas to get, this guy got hit by a car, this guy got with a kid. We don't have anyone left. You would have been the Rosh Yeshiva. Elavos, I need the years. In other words, how much can I learn a day? One halacha a day. So how much would I know? I'm going to die in 70. But if I live to 500, so then all of a sudden you're able to do it. So that's what the bench is showing us. You have to do what you have to do. Lo yamalacha ligmor. That's not the like it says in Pirkei Avos. That's not your job. You don't have to finish. The only thing is you got to keep trying as much as you can. And then the bench gives you reiches yamim. You will finish maybe. You never can finish a Torah completely, obviously, because the bench wrote the Torah, so it doesn't make a difference. Always more kavanas behind it. But the idea is that I can paskel any shaylas. I can know what we call knowing kol Torah kula. What do you mean knowing kol Torah kula? It means that I'm in the subject. I can deal with it. and stuff like that. Every person can become that way. So that was the point that he did down there.
Is he saying that Achia Shivon is built by Repreda?
No. I'm saying he was like that guy who was the Talmud of Repreda. In other words, that it took him a long time to get something. And therefore he didn't become who he was until 500 years later. But 500 years later I became who I was. I mean, because it took me 500 years to become that. And you find this really, he said this I think in the Chumash thing also, well, why did Adam pick to give David HaMelech 70 years? Why didn't he give him a round number, 100 years? I mean, why 70? Well, it's 30 years less of my life. I understand that. So why'd you give him anything at all if you want to be that cheshbon? Elevos, thousands is pretty enough. It's a lot of years. So I figure I can spare 70, whatever it is. I can spare 100, so why not? Except that David HaMelech didn't need more than 70 to establish Malchus with David, or the concept of Malchus, or whoever David is, or whatever the Mishpach is supposed to be, whatever it is, that's what it took. And it's a shame, you think about Rav, that he lived 28 years. And I think it says over there that what was they were maspid him that he did in the 28 years what other people do in 70 or more years than that. In other words, that's all the years he needed to accomplish his tafkid b'olam. Now, obviously we don't know what our tafkid is, so therefore obviously the Rebbe gave us the years to do it. Whatever our tafkid is, so maybe we shouldn't be in such a rush to do it, that I can't answer you. But that's the point that the Rebbe gave it to us. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was one. Then he talks about another big yesod. He talks about is Hakel. No, that's VaYailech. I'm sorry. He goes in weiter here. He talks about that the Avodah Zorah that people see, and it says over here that pen yesh b'chem isha, you'll have a person, a mishpacha, a shevet, ish shelevavi poina yem Hashem. He goes away from God. And then he says, here's the teichecha that existed in Parshas Kisavai, and he'll say, I'm going to have peace. I do what I want. In other words, the case says, how can a person be such an idiot that he sees the teichecha and he hears the teichecha and he still looks at himself and he says, Shalom Yeli, why? Because I do what I want to do. So obviously, you don't believe it. If you believe it, so then what's the point? Otherwise, it means is that a person is also he justifies himself, or he finds things that find him. Like the Freie. The Freie itself wouldn't have, they don't believe in the Torah. But let's take the conservatives, original conservatives, and whatever, that supposedly believed in the thing. Until about 1930, they were Orthodox considered. That's when the name conservative actually came up in the 1930s. 1930. So it means I hold, I can do what I'm doing, and I'm not going to have any problems with anything. What are the three things that man Tzvei Sorovas Hatzmeya? So the Gemara gives us three things. The Gemara gives us three things. You marry off a young girl to an old man, a young boy to an old woman, or you return an Aveda to a guy. Now, the first two, you can hear people making their own psharas on these things. And then we have actual cases where big people supposedly actually did that. What the chazan was, I can't answer you. I can understand it in a way. I'll give you a motion. I remember correctly, the Satmar Rebbe, after he lost his wife and he lost his daughter, he married a younger woman. And she was gefielt, after they had what was he called? From thing there, the Moshe title, when before the Baal's father, the one after VaYailech. What was he called? Huh? No, the Moshe, but what was he the first, before he was the Sigata Rebbe, before he became the Satmar Rebbe. Yes, I'm saying, so he got it. So the what they called the Schwarze Satmar at that time was led by the Rebbetzin. That they moved out of Williamsburg, they moved their thing there, and they had their own thing there. So it could be, so much younger. I don't know how much younger, what do you call it, the Akiva, some Seforim, the Nedim of the Akiva, was younger or older than the Akiva? I really don't know. I think he was older. So he married the Akiva's daughter, though, right? And the thing over there. So what pshat? And the thing often. So I think the pshat is the cover of the job maybe makes it possible that you're willing to forget about the Taivas Olam. Now, what's the chash? Chash is that you're going to, that you have the energy levels of the two, or the desire, whatever it is two different things, and they don't match. If they don't match, you can cause a nuisance in the world, right? In the case where, let's say, there's tremendous covet involved in it, so maybe it doesn't cause it. I can't answer yet. But those two I'm leaving alone, because there's different cheshbenis maybe and different thing else. But let's work on the third one, Marsa Avoid the Lakum. Why is not to Lakum to Anochi? So why is that a thing that the man's voice always has made? What did I do? The idea is you said you were fairer than the Torah. That's the problem. In other words, a guy who what was Christianity? What did he claim? We don't believe in the old type of God, that the Old Testament God that does retribution and stuff. We believe in the friendly one of Yashkir, something like that. Yeah, something like that. In other words, also women. We're bigoted against women. We're bigoted against everything. Like that's how they understand a former Yid. And B'meila, they think we're bigoted against the Goyim. And therefore we don't give back the Aveda to the Goy. Right? And the thing there, and so I'm going to be fairer than the Torah, more liberal than the Torah. I'm going to be a nicer guy than the Torah. That's your shegitz. You're the biggest shegitz that's possible. Because you don't even bother thinking of what the Torah's purposes are and stuff like that. Some to explain it, will give it very short. That normal, when a person, by Yid, we have Hashgacha Pratis. Hashgacha Pratis means that there's onshim that are for short periods of time. It's not like wipe them all out to keep them all alive or something like that. Each guy has his own onsh. So if that's the case, then it's possible that one guy has to lose the thing forever. One guy loses hanoia from it for a week, once a day, once 5 minutes, once for 10 years. It doesn't make a difference. But then Hashavas Aveda has a place in it. And the taich of Hashavas Aveda is that our Bailis doesn't go off. But normally, but a Goy, everybody else who doesn't have Hashgacha Pratis in that sense, so they have a din of Bailis, possession is 97%, 9/10 of the law. 9/10 of the law. Okay, is the possession, right? Losers, finders, keepers, finders, how's it go? Finders, keepers, losers, weepers, right? Those are all those. We all know that if you don't have it, it's not yours. Right? So what's the kasha on the Torah? You're thinking you're being fair by giving it back. It's not yours if you lost it. That's by the Goy, Taki. It's not yours if you lost it. So if you want to do a Kiddush Hashem, because we had him such a ma'aser, I don't remember where it was, a few yeshiva bachrim found this money in the back of a taxi or something, and they returned it, and they made a Kiddush Hashem, and all the newspapers picked it up. Wow, these guys are so honest, and this and that. Wonderful thing, right? And they think, you want to pay, and I'm asking you, maybe you should do it. Maybe the schar they'll get for that Kiddush Hashem is more than the $10,000 that they gave back. Because the schar, who knows what. But they have to realize you paid $10,000 to make a Kiddush Hashem. It was your money, and you want to make a Kiddush Hashem, you spent your $10,000. Fine, you want to do that. But to think that easy come, easy go, it's not my money in the first place, then you're shaking. That's the point. And this.
McVeger was 11 months older.
11 months older, okay. Okay, so I'm saying, pretty sure. I can't, whatever pshat is, what can I tell you, So I'm saying, but to me, the Chassam Seif as a wife, it means something. I mean, let's understand. Okay. Even they understood it. The letters that they wrote to each other at that time are supposed to be, I don't know what it is, that the only thing that's missing in my daughter, he was writing about his daughter, the only thing that's missing, she's not a Bas Talmud Chacham. That's the only thing missing. And the Chassam Sefer wrote, the only thing missing in me is Pshat, I'm not a Talmud Chacham. So otherwise, I have all the good qualities, but that one I don't have. Whatever that means. For us, it's a good joke, but that's about it. But you see how much this attitude means. This attitude is so bad. Hashem sloyach loy, ki oz yesh Hashem afikudat yoshehu. The version will go, and he's going to make them learn how bad ki Sodom v'Amorah ad Nitzavim. Because what was the badness of Sodom? The badness of Sodom was not bad. Hitler was a lot worse than Sodom. So why did the Benjamin decide to kill Sodom personally? And didn't take him out the thing personally. He made gofres with Sreifa Kolar. The thing that they brought down the whole the things, whatever it is. The thing is because they thought they were better than the Torah. That's the trouble. They believed right, because Rashi says, "Royim v'chatoim l'Hashem ma'oid." The ma'oid is yodu is boiram umordu boy. They knew who God was and they revolted. If you know who God was, you don't make a revolution against him. It means you don't know who he is if you make a revolution against him. Elavos, meaning we're not opposing his laws. We say what his laws are very good. Everything is fine. The only thing is we're better. We're better than him. What's better? So let's take all the sort of stories. So yeah, the equal one is equality. That's the worst one. In other words, everyone is equal. No one's equal. What do you mean equal in what? Equal, we can all vote? Yes, okay, we're all equal. To walk in the street and eat this food? Equal, we're all equal. But we're all equal, we all have the same kishrenis and everything else? No. God made us different. We're supposed to be different. Why did he make us different? That I can't answer you, but I assume it's because he gave different responsibilities to different people. The bigger you are, the more responsibility you have, and that's what he gave to you. You want to tie part of yourself from your responsibilities, because what are you saying? You're saying, we want to make affirmative action was the biggest avla that you have in our dollars that we have that are part of the Ma'asim Stein. Affirmative action is Ma'asim Stein. It's out, they're good. They threw it out now from the Constitution. It's not in the Constitutional either. But the Ma'asim, what they claim? The claim is we have to be fair to women. We should don't pick on women for other things, and say we should have more women in the fire department. Right? It's not fair that we don't have more women in the fire. The little girls are 3 years old. They want to be. They like the red fire truck. They want to be part of the fire truck. Okay, It's unfair to keep them out. It's fine. So we'll make them. But one of the tests we have that you have to get a firefighter is you got to lift 200 pounds over your head. But they can't lift 200 pounds over their head. Oh, cut it down to 150. So what are they saying? By having more women firefighters, everybody over 150 is going to die, right? So it says, am I to have such a thing as having women in the fire department? No. That's so the same thing if you have certain doctors who can have we want more of that color, that's the thing, we load a rate of 8 to 80 instead of 100. So what are you going to prove? You're going to give 20% of the people are going to die. Whatever it is, or the carrier, they can't fix the cars, or whatever you make them the thing there, because you're lowering the thing. You're not, if you would tell me if the woman that could do it, we should take them first, maybe I hear such a slaughter. But to tell me we lower the standard, that's the sugar and stuff like that. The same thing, we don't want to embarrass kids for the thing there. I say, you're not embarrassing kids. I tell that it's always by the Termasai Convention. You have it in yeshivas too. Put the marks on the tape, on the wall. Guys failed. Especially under 90. Not to put on 60, but under 90. I said, first of all, we had these discussions. I said, the keys, beginners and stuff like that. I said, I'd be very proud to say about myself, I have no 80 of the Masechta. I could pass a test with an 80 on the whole Masechta and the thing there. I'd be very happy to say that. I don't think there's any bezoyin in me. I don't get an award because of that. So they don't get an award. Let's get it done, I'm not big enough to get an award. Ask the kids in themselves, who's the smartest kid in the class? They'll all point to one guy. Right? So they know who's the smartest kid. So what's the bezoyin to say that he got the 100 and you didn't? Why is it a bezoyin? And these are the things that I want to brag. My kid is so smart, he can sleep through the whole shiur and he'll know the shiur also. Right? That's what the whole purpose of a good behead is to brag like that. Then that's you're killing the kid. That's no yichus. That's what I'm saying. That's what the whole idea against this thing. And that's what the mention. I gave you the standards, what are you supposed to do, what we expect of people, but can they do the job that we said? The guy could be the gadol. He can grow up to be who he is. He has to work for it, though. But that's the difference. Okay. The union of the union of Alvis, just to understand it. It's not a point of anything there. Alvis is doing the mitzvah for someone else. That's Alvis. There's a difference of Shemei Kohen. This is my Torah. Kiva disagrees with me. Okay? I'm telling you right now. So if you'll have a kashi, you'll find the TVA says, not like me. So I'm telling you now. I know he says not like me. He says that Alvis and Shemei Kohen are the same inyan. And I say they're two different halachas. Alvis is where I'm making the bracha for you. In other words, I'm making kiddush, I'm making lechem mishneh, and people around me don't have lechem mishneh, don't have kiddush, but they ate with my kiddush. So therefore, my kiddush goes to them. That's Shemei Kohen. Yehudik, what he called Shemei Kohen means I'm taking your words for myself. I have my becher in front of me, and you're saying the words, and I'm taking your becher and your bracha, and I'm using it for my kiddush. So that's Shemei Kohen. I'm hissing just like I'm saying it myself. You have to say that. Nafkeminis would be, I could be, I don't know, I didn't go through this thing. Let's say let's say you're in the bathroom when you hear kiddush. Are you Yates or not? Probably you all told me no, right? But I would think Alvis may be a Yates. You made it for me. You're in a cushion place. You could make it. I'm in the bathroom. I don't have to answer. I mean, it's not halacha in Alvis. I'm just here. I heard you. So I want to be Yates, right?
Shemei Kohen, you will not be Yates. Shemei Kohen, you will not be Yates.
On Shemei Kohen, I can't. That's what I'm saying. So there'd be a difference in halachas. So but the biggest difference would be that Arvis would not take place until they got to Eretz Yisrael. And so what was it was the Sheikh Shemei Kohen in the Midbar? In other words, they didn't make Kiddush in the Midbar, so we have no kasha. I can't answer that. But that is what seems to be. Also, what it was nafkamina, that the whole talk about a cotton being moitzi gadol in benching. Say how many the rabbanos there are on the rices. They have to share the rabbanon, share the rice. I throw in a thing there that they're making a big toy stasis. There's a third the rabbanon. The third the rabbanon is alvus. In other words, if there's a din alvus to tell you, I can't be moitzi one guy the other guy, minat Torah, or before become Eretz Yisrael. So obviously it's a dual law. So if that law exists, the Torah gave it to a gadol, so we have to have some way that we're going to give it to a cotton. So we have to give him another takonet. We have to treat the rabbanans. So how does it work? That's why I come out the pshat is that you have to eat. There's this Gemara that says that by benching, that why does the benching show favoritism? The last word, Yisrael Hashem Parna V'Lech V'Yosef Hasholem shows favoritism. Either bench the Malachim asked them, you're not allowed to show favor. You don't show favoritism. Yisrael Hashem Parna. So he says, I can't show Parna, but I was Mechayib. They should eat V'Chaltas V'Rachta, and they eat a Shir Kazayis, what do you call it? They're already benching. So I surely show favor. What the Brach Levatala. When you making show favoritism for making a bracha vatol, the guy you park with the and he benches, you're going to say he's a mile, it's a chasava, not a mile. So if the shear is savaita, so how is he going to say the thing? No. If you feel gratitude for what you get, so then you mechuyev to show it. If you don't show gratitude, I don't expect gratitude until the savaita. But if you have gratitude before, you mechuyev to bench. And that's what the Yidden had gratitude before. That's what it means in the Piyatz. That's the Reis is talking about. That's how you have two Rabbanas. Okay, that's the idea anyway. The second Rabbanan is Alvus. That's why I tell them about the brachas.
That din Arvus is the din Rabbanan?
Huh?
That din of
Arvus is the Rabbanan.
So it's not the Arvus that we're talking about here?
No. But since there's a Raisa here, so we can give it to the Rabbanan. We're going to pass it on to the kids. Okay. The next two Parshas are in other words, from Shlishi, from Revi to Chamishi, Chamishi to Shishi, are both about Shuvah. And the funny part about it is that this year we're having both sedras together again. It's on VaYailech, and so therefore we really have 14 parshas to break up. So you should try to make them in one parsha, right? It's both about tshuva, and yet you see from what's in the Chumash that they're broken up anyway. So why is it that they broke up the tshuva into two parts? So I think this is the reason. There's two different points in the tshuva here. The first part of tshuva is the rotzen to do tshuva. What do I mean, the rotzen to do tshuva? In other words, even let's say Bizman Hazeh, a lot of guys started to do tshuva. You see what's going on in the world. They see all the hate, all the, what do you call it, especially in Eretz Yisrael. They see they want to do tshuva. They want to become religious. Okay, that rotzen alone of wanting to become religious is the first part. And for that, it says, VaYailech Hashem Elokecha L'orotza Shadosh Avisecha Rishta Ve'etivcha Ve'herbecha Me'avisecha. I'll even give you a bigger bracha than your father's had. That's what I'm going to do for you. Because you want to do tshuva. Why? Because, and I'll even take away, what I'm going to take away, Umol Hashem Elokecha S'levavcha S'levav Zarecha. And now you're able to learn the Torah and understand it. So then you got all your crazy reasons you got in the Torah. And the thing there, none of them are true. Nothing to do with it, but I'll still take you back to Eretz Yisrael. because you guys want to do the good thing. So that's it. So that's the Rebbeinu Shalom thing. The second one is, once we start learning Torah and we know the truth, so now all of a sudden a lot of the stuff that we've been trying, thinking we're doing good, we find we're doing ra, or stupidity, or whatever it is there. So then there's a thing that's the second level. That comes already from being a Talmud Chacham and whatever it is there and stuff, and you will get a chance to do the Torah, and actually do Torah with it. And I'll give as a moshel I give for that is, I remember, I forget his name. He's in Eretz Yisrael. Remember the refuseniks? Remember the guys, maybe remember the Russian refuseniks? And there were the guys that came from Russia and everything. They're under, what do you call it, Gorbachev, under Khrushchev, I think there was. But they tried to become frum, and they put them in Siberia and a whole bunch of they called refuseniks. And then a bunch of them were able to get out in the 70s, and they went to Eretz Yisrael. Some became in the Knesset, became big shots. I think one of them still alive. But anyway, I don't remember which one was with Vandelovich or something like that. And they said, you remember Sheriff brought him to Chumash Shiur. So they put him in jail in Siberia. And I think he mauled himself. I think he did that. And he also made tzitzis out of his scarf. Tzitzis and a scarf is not tzitzis. I'm sure he got full scarf, scarves. He wanted to wear tzitzis. But he doesn't know the difference. He told me four-cornered beged. He told me it has to be beged aguf. I didn't learn the Shulchan Aruch. I don't know anything about these things. What's the only beged I have that's four-cornered is my scarf. So therefore, he made tzitzis on his scarf. And he was bargaining that to my father. My father didn't say anything at the time. So I'm saying, like, you didn't do a mitzvah, you didn't do nothing. You think that you did a mitzvah, but that to him probably was a mitzvah. That's the two parshas, and that's the thing. Okay. So that's why it's always two parshas, because it's two different madrigas in Tshuva, and the Rebbeinu Shalom gives. And I think the first madriga we saw in our lifetime. Eretz Yisrael was mainly Freie. Originally, they definitely were regularly anti-Torah. Originally, they said, why even bring that? But they always had a big part of the issue that were able to make the, whatever they called it, the standard, the status quo. That was enough that the issue was able to respect whatever it is there and stuff like that. Well, they knew what a Fumhiyat looks like. So they understood that this is a concept of Fumkeit. And Taka, what did the Rebbeinu do? Taka did it. They gave us more than anybody else. And they think they're superior many, many things. And the world acknowledges that. So they still hate us twice as much. Right now it's, Shirk is ready for now. The thing Dalton. I'm saying, but this is the big point, that we have to understand that the Rebbeinu Taka did it just for the Rotzah. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. That's the point. And the second part, we'll get Hashem, we'll get there. Okay. Yeah. And then the other one is the concept of free choice. Okay, so we're not leaving that. Then we go into VaYailech, because this year, even though it's a Nibayah, it's not a Nibayah, but we have Nitzavim VaYailech. So I just want to. So you have in VaYailech, you have the first real thing that's Negeya is the union of Hakel. So the way the Rashiva learned Hakel, that's very important, because you can see a difference, like say in his door, I don't want to say his door, when he came to America, let's say, and let's say in what we are now. Right now, I don't think there's anybody in the world who wants to learn Torah and that doesn't have a place to learn it. whether it's the freiste person in the world, we'll get you what do you call it, a tournament, and we'll get you something else, or you have for this type of kid, and that type of kid, and that type of kid. You got yeshivas for everybody. Everybody can learn Torah, more than the time of Chazal, more than the time of anybody else in the world. We are probably the biggest door of making it possible to learn Torah. Didn't say that learning Torah, it's possible to learn Torah. But there were still times, and even what you call the kid, the wilde kid, the kid that's half off the derech. The parents wanted to go to yeshiva. Always yeshiva. Why can't you get them into yeshiva? They don't accept them. All the complaints they have, but yeshivas don't take them. But we got to get them into yeshiva. Right? That desire. Once upon a time, that desire didn't exist. That's the point. And that's the point. In the 1930s or 40s, and even the 50s probably didn't exist when I was a kid. You had kids that went to Talmud Torah. You had Talmud Torahs in those years. Now the only Talmud Torahs you have is probably conservative, if you have any at all, and stuff like that. Or Reform maybe they have also, maybe Sunday school. But in my time, you had former Talmud Torahs. It came 3 o'clock, you went to Talmud Torah. You went there after public school. So why didn't you put him in yeshiva? Because he's not going to be a rabbi anyway, and he's not going to be this, and I have to have him say Kaddish for me. So therefore, you'll go learn how to read and read, and another thing there. Well, what about the Anafuma Yid who's going to say Kaddish for you? You think he's going to go to shul to say Kaddish for you? You got dreamy, man. Nothing over there. But that's what their mahasogis were. But how did that happen? Because they didn't have this hashkafa. What's the hashkafa? The hashkafa is, it says here, Hakil, the Sukkis of Shemitah, you're supposed to gather everybody together in the Beis Hamikdash, Anoshim v'Taf. The men, women, and children. It means everybody got to come, all right? And they're going to listen to them reading Mishnah Torah. Say the Dvar, the Malch was going to read the Dvarim and what he called it. And so Gemara has the case. I remember the Tanoim came to Rabbi Yeshua, and they held home. Rabbi Yeshua didn't come to the Beis Medrash. He became old. He couldn't go to the yeshiva. Too old to go to yeshiva. So they came to Beniman, I guess Vakachela. So they came to see him, and he asked them, "So what chiddush is in the Beis Medrash?" So they said, "We came to learn from you. You're asking us what the Torah is. We came to learn from you." And you know he says, "There's ein Beis Medrash b'lo chidush." There had to be something that we're talking about. So he asked them, whose week was it? It was just after Machlekes when there was Azariah and Ram Gamliel, and they put in the oven. They split the Messiahs. So he said it was Azariah's thing. He said, so what did he say? He said, we're learning Hakil, and he said like this: Anoshim Lamaboyu, why do the men come? To learn. Anoshim Lamaboyu, why did the women come? Is to listen. And the Taf Lamaboyu, what do you need the children for? So he says, to give schar to the ones who brought them. All of a sudden, he said this you wanted to hide this Margolius for me, and he says the whole, any door that the Velozim is in its door is not a door. Yosem. So the Shiva asked, what did he say? He didn't say anything. Basically, we all know any mitzvah you do, you get schar for. So if the Benishon told the kid, you bring the kids, you're going to get schar for it. So what did he say? What did he telling you? He was so misspoiled that this is, you wanted to hide this from me. You wanted this. So he said, this is pshat. He says, all the people might make excuses why they're not bringing the kids to yeshiva. My kid's not smart enough. My kids can't take a double program. He's not going to be a rabbi anyway. Only good to Zachem, right? That they're saying dort. He says, no, your job is only to bring him to the yeshiva. Then that's the mitzvah, not because the tachlis of the mitzvah. Your job is to bring schar. You're going to get schar for bringing them. That's it. That's all you got entitled to bring. You bring them, then you'll find out the kids are not so sick, you're not so stupid, you're not so what do you call it? It'll come big tummy chacham, and this thing over there. And that's the education system. That's what they didn't come. They didn't come because you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, whatever it is. Then he goes into the union of bitochen or muneh, and it is a little bit of a schwerkeit in the sense that he has Esther Menatera Benayim. It says Hasta Pona. I'll hide my face from them. It says the Rebbeinu is telling Moshe Rabbeinu that after you die, the people are going to they're going to do Averos. That's going to come. And I'm going to get angry at them. I'm going to leave them, and I'm going to give them all the troubles in the world. Rabbis, whatever that means. And at that time, what are the Yidden going to say? Why is this happening to me? Because God's not among us. So therefore, that's why we have all these bad things. And I'm going to hide my face from you. Right? So what do you mean? God's not letting do tshuva? Is that what it's telling you? Is that really the way we understand it? That the mention is not going to let us do tshuva? No. This is the mistake we made. God's not among us. I'm always here. I didn't go anywhere. I'm here. You guys left somewhere maybe, but I'm here. I say, you're saying he's not among you? I'm among you. But you're not listening. If you think that I'm over there, that's why you're not listening. That's why God is not saving me and stuff like that. That's baloney. For that, I'm going to turn my head on you because you still haven't got the basic emunah to understand what God is and stuff like that. So that's what he's going to give it to. And therefore, then he tells him to give him the shira, which is Hazinu, and the Girzach of Hazinu is, of course, that the Onshim that the Benshim gives to us. Will we have a chance to talk about Hazinu, or maybe throw in something from Hazinu?
The Chumash Shiur.
The Chumash Shiur comes out too, right? Yeah, but we're not no Hazinu this year. Okay, so just one thing in Hazinu. It says Hazinu Yarev Kamot Lichri Tizal Kaltalim Rossi Yisirim Ali Deshe V'Chivirim Ali Yosef. There's some and this I think is simply a physical fact, which I don't know how true it is, but I believe it's so. That, we have tornadoes in certain states in America. Sometimes it even happens in America, or an earthquake in New York, but very, very, very rarely. But Nebraska, Kansas, they have tornadoes all the time, right? Why they have tornadoes? Well, because they grow our wheat and stuff. And they need strong winds that's mechazik, the grain. Don't ask me how it does it, what it does, but it seems that it needs these strong winds to do this. That's what Rashi learns that they think. So anyway, it says. So what should it be? It says the Torah should to drop it to person like rain and like tal. And he says, what's the difference? Rashi says that Hakol Smeichim b'tal. Everybody likes tal, dew, right? But rain, the guys who are every drachim, the guys who's traveling, he doesn't like the rain. What do you call it? There's a lot of people that don't like the rain. You put on a new suit, you don't like the rain either. You put your clothes, put the fruit out, and this thing to dry out, and it starts raining. You ruined it all. So obviously, rain is not heavy, but the world needs rain. There's no question about it. The thing there. But dew, everybody's happy with. I said, I don't know about that. I'm not happy with dew either. What do you mean you're not happy with dew? I know the camp, but when in America and New York, I mean, I don't never notice really do. I don't know if anyway they do. Even we live with grass, we live with thing. Maybe you can see the group. I don't know, but in the country, it's very obvious. So if you shine your shoes for Shabbos and you walk through the grass, you'll find that your shoes are not shined anymore. Your cuff hasn't got a crease anymore in it. So I'm very disappointed in the dew. I mean, I've had it for the fields and this, it's wonderful, but for me walking in the street, it's not so wonderful. I mean, so why do you sell me every akol smeichen? But obviously it means that we understand that there is a kleinigkeit, that it happens in the world, so we're able to swallow it. Comes a big thing, somehow we can't even swallow it. So the Torah has both sides. You have the little einshim, the big einshim, but it's a thing, but the world needs the Torah. That's the point of it. Okay. Now, how does it apply? The normal thing is you have the word, as they say, the winds. Haitaiches Seforim is as winds. Others Taiches Seforim means it's rains. It's a big rains. I don't know what that thing. So I guess that's a strong rain. I mean, that's a flooding rain. You know, so you have a lot of water. The Ivridim is rain that hurts. Again, if you ever go, sometimes you have a rain that's the drops come down very hard and very precise, and they hit you in the head, they hit you in the thing, and they hurt. But those things, when they hit the ground, when they'll hit an individual leaf, they'll hit an individual thing. It's not like water. It's individual drops. So sometimes the Torah, which you have to learn it, you have to understand it cures you as in totality. In other words, that it affects you in totality. To become whatever you used to make you into Talmud Chochem, to make you into Baal Midas, Tevis, and stuff like that. But it also has the thing that it takes for individual things that you're missing, or things that you need, that you can be mechazik that individual schwachkeit and that thing. And therefore, the person, if you have any problem, the Torah is going to find it for you. It has ways of taking care of it. And we have to understand that, and that's the basic hakikah. In other words, the God is perfect. In other words, He does what it, and we, as we all say, He's the Daina Emes, He's everything else. And yet, we're always, I can't say criticizing. There are people that do, God's unfair, God's not this. Okay, that's Mishugoyim. They don't understand what God is. But a normal person doesn't have such machshavos. But sometimes you're looking at the wrong thing, like, I can't understand what God wants. Now, one thing you have to understand, if you're having tzores, God's out to get you, okay? Now, there's two ways He's out to get me. One could be a Nesoyin, and one could be an Einish. That's probably, that part you'll never solve. Is this an Einish or this an Nesoyin? So therefore you have to learn how to live with it. I guess the Benchim gives you that choice of figuring what it is, so you shouldn't be tzibrochim that God's out to get me. So therefore I have no hope for life and I may as well quit now. Or there's a point to tell you, no, it's an Nesoyin. We want to see what you do if you get these sorrows. So, how you do tshuva, how you do thing, something like that. So it's a way of living with God, this debate that you have, as I say, with yourself. But that which you should understand, that He is perfect. So if He's perfect, if things are happening, you have to start figuring out what's wrong with you. What is it that you did wrong? I don't see anything I did wrong. I mean, everything I did is right. Now you got problems. So you have to start looking and thinking and figuring out, maybe that's not what God wants. Maybe that's not what the thing is. And the Benchim does this in the way of Morah, that you have, it comes, that the Morah itself, Chazeres, is better than Tamcha. That means, what do you call it, lettuce, romaine, or whatever it is. is better than chrein. Now, if you're looking for mora, we're talking about chrein. We're not talking about lettuce. Right? Lettuce you put in my salad. No, that's the better mora. What's the mora teach you? So Peronius are not good. God punishes if it does a very good thing. We understand to do tshuva. We do tshuva when we have a chance to do tshuva. If things start going bad, we know we're doing something wrong, start doing tshuva. So therefore, all our brachas, v'yitein v'chosa v'yitein, that God gives us, if He keeps giving us, do great. He stops giving you, better do tshuva fast. Because there's something but I can do it. I can realize that if He keeps giving it to me, even if I didn't do tshuva, like He gives to Esav, He's ochem vei, then you don't get a chance to do tshuva. By the time you realize that you have to do tshuva, because you have been living a chazos life all your life, and now you decided for some other reasons to do tshuva, you ain't going to be able to do tshuva because you don't even know what you do wrong. And there's no way they're going to find it, or it's too late, or whatever it is there. So the Shem did that, and the same thing goes with Reish Yishon, that Eretz Yisrael is different than Reish Yishon. But God is always looking at it, and therefore if you're not doing the right thing, He stops giving you bracha. Right away. As soon as He stops giving you bracha, you know you're doing the wrong thing. And the same thing goes with the wars, and the same thing goes with everything else we have. If the day was a bad day, then you should know that today something was wrong. But they shout us, what do we do? Then how can we do something about it? It's a different thing. And that's basically what this whole thing. And usually the Torah, what affects you as an Indian of as motor or tau, how would you get it to be one way or the other way? You'd rather have it as tau than as motor. But if we do things for our own reasons, even the right things, you can't say this in every case, I don't know, but it's something to think about in Shidduchim. Okay? In Shidduchim I used to give a ganze Droshe to one of my grandchildren, I don't remember which one, came back and told me, oh, you mean the 5 men's. So there's 5 men's, technically, that cover all the things you're interested in a Shidduch. I'll start off Mammon, then I want that Mammon, Mishpacha, right? Moyach, how smart the eye is, Midos, and Mare. How good they look. Right? You set up any way you want, the way your priorities go. You go up to your priorities, but your priorities are the way you want it. I want the Mishpacha, I want Mare, I want Moyach, whatever it is there. There's nothing wrong with these things. They're all part of the human being. But if that's the only reason I'm doing it, so whatever it is there, that you understand that that's not the purpose of marriage. And when a guy marries the wrong person because he was looking for these things, then unfortunately he's going to be a lot of tzaras from that. And when he sees it, he has to realize the bigger the tzara was because more you picked what you wanted. If on the other hand you married who you were supposed to marry, I mean, I'm not talking about Bashel, that the bench has those things. I'm talking about all Bashel. But the Ma'is is your bechire, why you picked it. Is the things is totally you picked the Takil Shem Shemayim, you picked it only for the right reasons, and it happens to become these things, then it's something to be like do. It's easier to live with, it's easier to forget about, whatever it is there. It to be a small einish thing. The other one is going to be a hard thing. and stuff like that. There's bitterness and so on and so forth. And that's the big cheshire. Anyway, a good year to everyone. Achsiv v'achsim eteva. Should all have nachas from all your kids. You have a Shna school of Yeshua. Liv Parnasa, gesund, nachas. And Yezir Hashem, everybody be well.